KJ, John Waweru.
Madam Speaker,
South.
Madam Speaker, I thank you profoundly. Madam Speaker, what we are doing here this morning is to actually remedy a mischief. We ought to ask ourselves, what mischief is this that we seek to remedy? When this matter was brought to the floor by the Honorable Member for Nyando, we realized that a number of things are happening. The first thing is, of course, that the executive is trying to legislate. But even more tragically, Madam Speaker, is the attempt by governors to try and reform the law to benefit counties out of a coffer that is actually a national government coffer. Madam Speaker, it is well understood that there are roads that are placed under the jurisdiction of the national government. There are those that are placed under the jurisdiction of county governments. Now, what is happening is that the county governments, which we had envisioned to be centers of economic development, are failing in the raising of their own revenues to a point that they are not able to attend to the needs in their counties, and now want to dip their hand in the coffers of the national government, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the minister in question, a good friend of mine, is a great champion for devolution. And the Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen would tell us, when he would teach us about devolution, that we are seeking to have devolution so that counties are able to generate revenue on their own to be able to take up development from the counties. But Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, in the last 10 years, what we have seen is that counties have become overly dependent on the division of revenue monies that is allocated by this parliament, to the extent that the whole devolution conversation has been turned to how we share the cake, not how we bake the cake. And that is the mischief that we are trying to heal this morning, Madam Speaker, because that is the mischief that informed the move towards reducing these monies, the Kera monies, on the vote of the national government, so that they can be redirected to the county government. Madam Speaker, if not for any other reason, those two reasons allow us to support the report that has been tabled here by the Roads Committee. Madam Speaker, if it was fairness, the natural thing that would be happening is that these monies should either be constant or increasing. It is even against the rights, Madam Speaker, of the people of Kenya to be reducing a vote of these monies that we know are very well superintended under Kera. So, Madam Speaker, beyond agreeing with this report, we are asking the Committee of Transport to take a further action. And the further action ought to be taken to inform Kera, to make sure that they withdraw the letters that they have written to the regions, to withdraw those, correct the mischief, and in fact, going forward, Madam Speaker, it should only be actioned by Parliament through the Substantive Committee of Transport. Madam Speaker, the very good minister has been a legislator, and the minister understands that we are the house that has the power to make legislation. If we want devolution to work, we should be strengthening the revenue raising ability of counties, not making counties totally dependent on national government. So it is our ask to the cabinet minister to also, instead of joining the bandwagon of dividing the national cake, to help these counties to also bring in the ingredients that will help bake the national revenue. Madam Speaker, I stand to support the report, and I say a big thank you to the Committee on Roads under the leadership of the Honorable G.K. Kariuki. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kiarie. Honorable members, before I give an opportunity to our senior Honorable Kenan, I would like to welcome, seated in the public gallery this morning,